Well, welcome all of you. And the topic when it came through this month, laying it all down, I hadn't thought about Easter, or I hadn't thought about what that meant when I got, the title. Last month we did a Job, pretty much the words from Job, which was when after all of the trials and tribulations that the man went through, the last thing he finally said and came to him was, "I will be silent before thee." And it reminds me very much of this life stream that we're living. When all else fails, we finally lay it all down and surrender it all up, including words and thoughts. And to me, meditation is the ultimate in surrender. My path started about 20 years ago. Joel was my meditation path started 20 years ago, and it was due to a real strong hunger within me to feed. And I was trying to feed, as we all do, on everything outside ourselves. Anything to quench that emptiness, that hole, that desire, that desire, that need, and grabbing and clutching and feeding on that outside myself. And once I saw that I couldn't get enough of anything to fill that hole, I finally I was literally screaming and running up and down the street one day, looking and trying to go in church and trying to find it, And in those days, there were those wonderful bumper stickers. I found it, and then another group would come out and said, "I never lost it," and then the next group would come out and say, "I'm it," And I thought, oh, that's it. There's something there. And I heard a terminology. Some of you who know Chuck Cease, I heard a terminology from him back then, about 20 years ago, that said, that which you're looking for, you're looking with. And I thought, there's something to this. I'm going to, I wrote those words down, and I did not know what it meant, because I was raised in a biblical, orthodox kind of religion where God was outside yourself. And I proceeded to try to have substitute gods in many ways. So I found instantly, within that day of that experience I had, where I was running around literally screaming, "Where are you? Why can't I find you?" I ran across the book by Joel Goldsmith on practicing the presence. And I ate the pages alive, and it began my deep need for sitting in the silence and learning how to do that. And in my early days, I would just go with people that you would just show up and you would just get silent with them, and I would get lifted, and then I would walk out, and by the time I would get home, I would be right back in the soup again, and the mental whatever would be taking over. But I was just so starved for that presence that I went to retreat. I was going to retreats every other weekend. For 15 years. I did every intensive there was, every silent. I went to every infinite way teacher on the planet. I became a groupie. Joel Goldsmith was the one that is my teacher, in that I would resonate and vibrate to what he said and how to get there, that it is about the experience, not about reading about it, not about listening to someone else's experience. But I was always, how do I get there myself, on the money, when I need it? Not when, yes, I can go off and rent a room in a hermitage and sit and be silent, or go up to Holy Spirit retreat, or be with the group. But what do I do when I'm on the film set and all hell is breaking loose, and I'm standing there and I'm told to go within. How do I get there on the money? And so I lived for 10, 15 years, I just lived with one foot in one life and one foot in the other life, and not knowing how to integrate the two. Not knowing how to be present and silent right there with everything coming down right in front of me, with the high-speed blender on full speed and all the nonsense there is presented to me in pictures. How do I stay present in that moment right now? And I was blessed with meeting Barbara Muhl, another student of Joel's who spent many years with him and knew I did not know Joel. He made his transition, for those of you who don't know, in '64. And but we have his tape recordings and his books, and it's all based on you having the experience, not just going and sitting at someone else's feet that's having it. And she had a wonderful little technique that by this time I was meditating long periods of time, and I seemed to require more and more all the time. And again, the hunger never subsides in me. It's just always, it's always what I want to do. And is be quiet. But she had a wonderful little technique and understanding that I could put to work, and not only work with myself, but I could give it to other people. As I was even working with out in the marketplace, and it was so simple that it was silly to me once I got it, and that was called the awareness exercise. And what was explained to me, which I didn't realize, was if you don't know what faculty of your being to meditate with, more than likely you're going to be meditating with the mind. And the mind is not the faculty to meditate with any more than the body is. And so she had a way of showing us how to be aware and to pick up the awareness faculty and lay down the mind. And it was just so simple to me when it clicked that I went, oh! And so I can just grab it up now. But the important thing is to know that, to learn that how to separate from the mental meanderings of the mind and just watch. And another big key to me was when I was taught to just sit and ask God to meditate me. And that shifted the posture. That made it not about Dulcie meditating, but that made it, oh, I of my own self can't even meditate. You know, I failed in many arenas, quote, to my liking on the planet. You know, it seemed like relationships failed, you know, situations failed, different programs I was trying to accomplish or whatever would just kind of dissolve into thin air. And yet I knew within that there was something always beyond what I could see, hear, taste, touch, feel, or smell. And I wanted more and more and more. So with that awareness faculty in gear, I can drop the other faculties and understand that, and it was, for me, it's like a carpenter's toolkit. If I want to put a nail in the wall, I don't go over and pick up the saw and try to nail the nail in, but I have to pick up the hammer to get the nail in. And when I'm meditating, for me to pick up my mind or to try to get the mind to meditate is just like trying to get the saw to nail the nail in. So I have to know that I have to be able to distinguish between the mental and the awareness faculty, otherwise known as consciousness. And so with that, you know, we're going to go through some experiences today of getting there and the more it's practiced, it's like a muscle. And that muscle has to be exercised, and that was another word I didn't like. I don't know if this will ever. I didn't like in my life, because things like that were hard. I wanted things to come easy. I wanted to just float. I wanted to just be in bliss and blissed out. And for a long time, my meditation was like that. For a long time, it was a matter of escape. It was a matter of floating and blissing out. And I didn't know there was a difference in that and maintaining conscious awareness, conscious contact here, now, in the moment. In my studies, another thing that came to me and I loved was when I was studying about the Aborigines, how they only have two terminologies for time, two words. They don't have yesterday, they don't have tomorrow, they don't have last year, they don't have forever. They only have two words, and they don't have hours, seconds, anything. They have now time and not now. And you're either in the now or you're in the not now. And I just started practicing that, and I could stop and I'd say, are you in the now or are you in the not now? And if I was thinking about even 5 minutes ahead or 5 minutes in the past, I was in the not now. And with Joel Goldsmith, he's been able to be a great instrument in teaching me to be in the now time, be here now in the present, along with, there's many masters that teach us to be in the now. And yet, when we're out there, how do we maintain it? So let's do a guided meditation, and then we will move into more silence. It was coming, Stephen Mallory showed up early from Redondo, and it just started coming in and pulling us so strong. It's like I was doing little things and I just got sat down. So let's work with the awareness faculty, and let's, I don't know how many I think most everyone here has been meditating, haven't they, for quite a while? So, but let's work with the awareness faculty, and we'll go into the silence. But laying it down, so at that point we get quiet in our seats, in our bodies, in our mind, and letting go of all the concepts and the judgments and, about meditating and what it is and how I've been doing it for years, or how do you do it, or am I really doing it right, or is there a right way? And at that point, just kind of let that body relax and dissolve. What that means is we're going to pick up the awareness faculty, and the way we find out where that is first of all, let's be aware, keeping your eyes closed, be aware of your knee, your right knee. It's not really a picture, it's not a thought, just be aware of your right knee. And now increase the awareness of your right knee. And expand even more and stretch, and take that awareness faculty and be consciously aware of your right knee, and expand that energy larger than you've ever done before. stretch it out. Okay, now just for the experiment's sake of showing how you can move this around, just kind of come back to the presence of the room. And now I want you to be aware of the top of your head. Go to the top of your head and be aware. Notice there's not any real pictures, it's just be aware of the area of the top of your head. Now increase your awareness of the top of your head. And expand even more your awareness of that area. Increase, stretch it out. Okay. Did everybody do it? Everybody get that? Now what happened to the knee? What happened to the knee when you were at the top of your head? Anything? Disappeared. Okay. Did you get that? Gone.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's that faculty. And what I didn't know is that I could move it anywhere I needed to move it, including into the now time. Okay? You can take it, and it is an instrument, it is a tool, it is a faculty. And it doesn't really require the mind, although we use the mind to find it, but you know, it's not the mind, it's behind. So now we're going to take this further. Okay. Now we're going to be aware of the I, capital I, be aware of I. Increase the awareness of I. For some, it's like stepping back behind themselves, just slightly, backing into it. Others go up. So let it show you where it is with you. Be aware of I. Now increase and expand the awareness of I. stretch more. Be aware of I. And now we're going to slip into the silence behind the I. Be aware of the silence. The mind starts to wander, just pull it back. Be aware. You're in charge. You're in charge. Be aware. This is your faculty, and you can take it where you want to. Be aware of the silence behind I. Expand and increase your awareness of the silence. Silence is not the absence of sound. It is the absence of the little self. It begins to thunder, but it has no words. Now increase your awareness of this womb of silence that permeates and underlies everything about you. And now lay everything down. Now that you know where you want to be, it's so easy to dissolve the troubles. It's so easy to let go of them or it. Surrender and dissolve into the silence. And anytime the mind tries to take you somewhere else, to your knee or the top of your head or anywhere else, it's just simply be aware. Be aware of silence. This is the secret splendor that we all crave. This is true union. It starts tapping you on the shoulder and asking you to sit down and be aware of this moment here now. It is conscious contact with God, Spirit, your inner source. And it is never anywhere but in the moment. It is never in the not now, only in the now. And only if I am aware of it. Many masters tell us to ask, who am I? I ask, where am I? Am I here now? Consciously let go a little more and expand the awareness of that silence. Exercising that faculty of conscious oneness. How shall I stand before thee but in the silence? How shall I honor thee but in the meditation of my heart? And we touch this blessed union, our inner sanctuary. And yet the mind wants to ask, but what am I to do with this lifetime? Why am I here? And in that silence, God says, why don't you make me, God, your activity, your occupation, your way of filling the time? Why not be aware of me? moment by moment. Why not let me fill your days, your nights, your mind, your soul, your body? Seek not occupation or activity. Seek me. For I, the I of your being, will fulfill you. Even though it is not understood by the world, our life must not be our own, but God's. Stay aware, stay aware, stay awake. Be in the moment. Hear the Master, Jesus Christ, as he said, "For I of my own self am nothing." But it is the big I. As I listen within, as I allow this stillness to wash me, wash over me, wash through me, rest me. For God is the air that we breathe, the food we eat, the sleep we sleep, the love we love, the life we live. Allow this silence to break all sense of limitation. I will keep silent before thee. My soul and my spirit and my silence shall be thy dwelling place. Thy spirit shall fill my meditation, and it shall make me and preserve me whole. O thou tender one and true, I am home in thee. And we allow, and we rest, and we stay present. And we go deeper. We ask to go deeper. Expand and increase my awareness, God. Allow me to experience no limitation in this moment. As a fish is without the water, I am without the silence. Now this is going to be hard, but this is the experience, this is the experiment. I want you to think about what it is you came in here with that you might have been carrying on your shoulders when you came. Notice how hard it is to pull it up once the silence takes over. But because this is a workshop and an experience, I want you to pull it up. Was there a person that's been giving you a problem, a health situation, a fear, a resentment, an anger? See if you can pull it back into your mind. I know you don't want to. But pull it back up, the very last thing that you were struggling with on your way here. Maybe it was coming to the valley. Okay. Now watch how you can leave that again. And lay it down. Lay it at the feet of God. Just lay it down. And the way you do that, it's going to try and stick. You just say, oh, I picked my mind back up again. I don't need that faculty because I now want to return to the silence. And the awareness of what you were struggling with an hour ago, or 4 days ago, or 4 years ago, is irrelevant. It's just the mind whip. So now, pick up the awareness faculty again and be aware of the eye. See, there it is, right there. And now be aware of the silence behind the eye. And drop right back into it, gently surrendering. Asking to be meditated. Now increase the awareness of silence. Notice the birds are singing. There's a plane, but that's ears hearing. And underneath is the conscious awareness of silence. And drink it in. Come back to the moment. We start to wander, just consciously grab your faculty and come back to the present moment. Right here, right now. And now, just as we move that awareness around from our knee to our top of our head, to the eye, to the silence, we want to increase it by sending it out. This is what is referred to as world work. For if we just try to hold it ourselves, we lose it. But if we pour it out into the room, just take that energy of that depth of silence, expand, and send it out. Now outside the room, let it flow, let it pour. Staying aware that you're receiving and releasing. Now pour it out further into the community, out around the entire globe. Back to your homes, your workplaces, the people in your lives. Open up, for the more you pour, the more that will come in, the more awareness you will have of this presence. It's as though we're holding our arms around the globe.